What in the world are you doing to my daughter? The millionaire's voice thundered through the marble halls as he froze at the bathroom door. His 3-year-old was wrapped in a towel, dripping wet, cradled in the maid's arms. The faucet still ran, water swirling in the tub. His chest burned with rage, suspicion, and fear until the truth hit him like a storm he would never forget. The mansion stood silent when he arrived. No chauffeur, no nanny, no wife waiting in the foyer. The polished marble floor echoed beneath his shoes. He had come home without warning, curious to see how his empire's caretakers truly worked in his absence. The air smelled faintly of roses from the garden and warm bread drifting from the kitchen. Yet the silence was wrong. He loosened his tie and moved faster, one thought gripping him like iron: where's my daughter upstairs? Grace the maid was tidying the nursery, carefully folding the little girl's dresses. Her hands, worn from years of service, moved with gentle precision. She had raised many children that were not her own, yet she poured her heart into every detail. She turned, expecting to see the child in her play corner, but the room was empty. A chill spread through her chest. "Baby?" She called softly, her voice catching. No reply. Her heart began to pound. Grace searched the halls, her steps urgent but careful. Then she heard the faint splash of water. Her stomach dropped. She pushed open the bathroom door and froze. The little girl had dragged a stool, climbed into the bathtub, and turned on the faucet. Water rose around her waist, bubbles swirling. She laughed in delight, unaware of the danger. Grace's hands trembled. She knew in one slip, a moment too long, everything could end. Without hesitation, Grace rushed forward, slipping her arms beneath the child and lifting her to safety. Water splashed across the tiles, soaking her uniform. The little girl squealed, squirming at first, then leaned into Grace's chest as the woman wrapped her in a towel. Her own breath came ragged, relief flooding her veins. She pressed her cheek against the child's wet hair and whispered, "You're safe now, baby. You're safe." At that very moment, the millionaire strode down the hall, his footsteps heavy with suspicion. He pushed open the door and froze. What he saw stopped his heart. Grace clutching his wet daughter, the bathtub still running, water swirling dangerously close to overflowing. His face twisted with rage. "What in the world are you doing to my daughter?" He roared, his voice cracking the air like thunder. Grace turned, startled, eyes wide. She saw only fury in his face, distrust in his eyes. Words fought in her throat, but she could not speak. Instead, she tightened the towel around the child, shielding her with trembling arms. The girl clung tighter to Grace, burying her face in her shoulder. The silence between them was crushing. To him, it looked like betrayal. To her, it felt like judgment she could not fight. Then a tiny voice broke the tension. "Daddy," the girl said, lifting her head, her curls damp against Grace's cheek. "I wanted bubbles." "Nanny saved me." The millionaire's rage faltered. His eyes shifted to the tub, the stool, the faucet, the rising water. His breath caught. The truth unfolded before him like a blade to his chest. Grace had not endangered his child. She had saved her. The weight of guilt crushed him. He stepped closer, his anger dissolving into shame. His mind replayed the scene, the little girl climbing alone, the water rising, Grace's arms pulling her out just in time. His voice trembled now, softer, humbled. "Grace, you saved her." His throat burned with unspoken words. He had nearly condemned the very woman who had protected his most precious treasure. The millionaire lowered his head, something he had never done before to an employee. "I was wrong," he said, voice breaking. "I owe you more than I can ever repay." Grace shook her head gently, tears in her eyes. "I only did what any mother would," she whispered. The words pierced his heart. For the first time, he realized Grace was not just a maid, she was a guardian, a protector, perhaps even more present than he had ever been. That night, as the mansion came alive again with noise, the millionaire stood at the study window. In the garden below, he watched Grace and his daughter playing, their laughter echoing across the dusk. The sight humbled him. Wealth, he realized, meant nothing without trust and love. And from that day forward, he never saw Grace as the help again. He saw her for what she truly was, a hero.